Good morning, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to Market Master, Roland Attenborough. This is a further video to the one that I was unable to produce and put out, and today it looks like we're able to do some recording. And I wanted to get this out to you the other day, which is what I was trying to warn you about when I was declaring to you that it's not the top right now, but this is a swing top that has come in, and I was very concerned that everyone was going to think that this was going to continue on to the moon, and then, right, you get knocked out. So let's go take a look at XRP and what's been going on, because I've been discussing some things regarding XRP. And in our last transmission, we were speaking about the top of this area and the fact that if we did not continue to move up, then we would be moving down and retesting areas that we were discussing, which were older top levels. So let's now go ahead and let's take a look at the chart, and then we're going to take a look at the indicators. We were discussing that it was possible that we could have a retest of this 290 and 300 level. We have Pluto sitting in our first ring of longitude at 302 of the circle, which is 2 degrees Aquarius. We were further discussing that this level would need to hold, or an area close to it. We could very much retest a 265. A move below this topping area would bring us to a devastating bottom, and I don't feel that we're about to see that. I feel that a testing of this area, this 290, for sure, we've already stepped into this and retested it. So at this point, the trajectory is still stating down, or the energy is still saying down, right? I mean, we moved up here, guys, and we got to this day right here, and it all fell apart. And I'll tell you why. Let's go take a look at our indicators. Why did it all fall apart? Why did it look like that? Number one, the volume, okay? We started getting this low volume right in here where it started topping, and we were at the very top. Meanwhile, while this thing moved up, we had next to no volume. We had a few spikes here, all right? So let's go take a look at those spikes. This one here on the 15th, particularly, right? The highest volume here on the 15th, just before this breakout. And then what happened? The volume never exceeded this buy. Never. It got close on that big spike up here. Wouldn't you have expected a volume spike higher than a lower volume spike for a move up? So these are telltale signs of distribution and culmination taking place. And it's a telltale sign that they're getting ready to dump you. And I warned you of this. We were talking about the indicators, and I told you that these indicators were looking like they were getting toppy and were going to come together, and that the sellers had stepped out. It showed us that the sellers, or the buyers, had stepped out and the sellers stepped in. And it was confirmed again by this huge bar, but that's too late. When we've got a flattening of this volume right here and we're at the top and nothing is happening, this is a warning sign. Okay, moving down to the RSI. RSI peaked out top. I was talking about this the other day. If we can't make it above this area here, major weakness, like it's gonna have to come back. So the RSI was signaling something to us, and I was listening. We got above this peak here. This This is an exhaustion zone here. Got right up to this top, it just couldn't hold on, it fell off the cliff. Let's go take a look at one of my other indicators, the leading and lagging indicator, stochastics. Finally, it showed its hand and we had a cross. However, we've had a few fake outs along the way here where it flattened out near the top. And this is where you have to be really careful with these indicators. For someone like me, when we start getting into this convoluted moves here, especially when it made this move here, this is when the market moved up the most. We had this big capitulation move down. I'm going to show you. Take a look. This, right, this stochastic, it went down right here, and we had the largest move up, the breakout move from here. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. When watching and reading these indicators, this one had already topped out. This one just started or was medium halfway through. The MACD just began. So using your indicators, this is how you need to watch them. Let's go back to the chart now. Now, just because I have copied and pasted the bars action doesn't necessarily mean we're going to do the exact same maneuver. However, the market likes to repeat and re-step over ground that it's been before revealing its hand that it's about to make a change and meet another top. So, on our next wave, we're expecting that sometime into August here, we're going to have some type of a bottoming area. And it could move and persist into the early part of September, showing by this model. So keep in mind now that that may happen. I'm going to make this a little smaller. We'll just condense it a little, bring it into view a little more. So when we take these areas here and we populate an angle, make sure you copy it so that you can find where it will sit again, because it's very possible and likely we'll be sitting out into this area. I was stating that somewhere in the third week of August we would see a higher low, a retest, and then from there I was telling you that I would be, well, I'll be a good 25% in on my wallet. I don't usually go quite that deep. It's 10%. That's Gann's rule. Divide your capital into 10 portions and only use 10% of it. That way, if you're wrong, you have to be wrong 10 times to get wiped out, not once. So never go all in. Otherwise, you're going to get wiped out. Totally wiped out. So, looking at this moving forward now, this angle here is still vibrating strongly because it's copied from here. This is the same angle that we were postulating would be an angle where we could see resistance levels and a subsequent retest. And of course, the market did. It retested it here, and we got a big, right? We got our dead cat bounce. We faked out, came up to the old channel, and then what happened? It closed weak and signaled weakness. And that's precisely and exactly what happened. It came back and retested this area, and once doing so, the market changed. We broke above this slope angle here. It's this slow trending angle moving down. And right when we sat on it here, it showed strength. And when it broke above this channel right here, this is when all this our stochastic was giving us a reverse signal. So we have to watch out for this. As soon as the asset starts to break out and get active like this, we have to be watching it and enter. Now note when two angles cross, again, speaks about when two angles cross, there's an inflection and energy point here, and there's a change in trend. And I've showed you this in my courses of Williams. He has a 28-page how to make charts and make angles and show when they cross or where they top out or where they bottom out. They reveal where the asset may be headed, as long as we place the trend lines correctly. So we can also move this trend line up now and put it right here, and we can find another point right from this low. Right, we're going to take it right from this point here. I just want to show you. And in our model, it's showing us a resistance level. Right here. An old top. So it's very likely that we will be retesting this topping area. And if we move down and start showing some support, we'll be very, very, very close to a bottom. However, we can still have these tiptoe events where they knock you right out, get you all worried that that's it. It's down, 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 and down. And then you don't buy, and you sit on the sidelines thinking it's going to continue to go down, and then we have a break above the angle. So I just wanted to make you aware of this. We're in for some fake out. I did tell you that we were going to have these pullbacks and that it was very, very, very important that this area holds. It's very important. It's very, very important. And especially down to this 250 and 260. It's really important that we stay around these areas. We have to stay above this stuff. There's a lot of planets that are opposite this price level here on my square. So this is how I'm able to find areas and look ahead and make logical and sensible determinations, as well as using the past, what it's done in the past. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is, which I couldn't show you the other day, but you do know about this. Everything has a vibration, everything has a frequency and a sine wave. XRP has a sine wave. I've talked about this quite a few times in the past. Many people have laughed at me, but hey, it's 40 days, right? 40 minutes, 40 hours, 40 days, 40 weeks, 40 months, and we still haven't been able to get to about a 40 years because we have a short lifespan right now. So in making up forecasts for assets, regardless if they have hundreds of years of history, like the S&P 500, which just means it's more work because you have to go through many more cycles going back hundreds of years to create the forecast. Whereas with an asset like XRP, it's only been around for a few years. Well, not a few years, it's been around for about 7 years or so, or thereabout. So we take the very beginning of that move, like I told you, and we cycle it out, and that's how we find these things. So let's just go take a look at a change. Let's just go to this top here, and let's just do exactly what William would have taught us. We're looking for the vibration. So William would have told us, well, we're looking for a change, and in the beginning you found it was 40. Oh, is that what he said? XRP is 40, and then there's a change? Oh. Well, it looks like William is totally right about his methods. Okay, well, fair enough. Let's not get too excited. Let's just march back first before we march forward. Okay? I mean, we have to know about the past to know about the future. I mean, come on, guys. What's going to happen at 40? Oh, man, I wonder what's going to happen, right? You got your top in the change, and we couldn't make it above this top at 46. This signaled the top. We couldn't get up anymore, and it came down. All right. Let's go over here. You can do this on every single one of these. Each one of these will find another change. Each one of these, you put a 40 count on, you're going to do that too. And you're going to be messaging me going, oh my gosh, I found that that works. You're a genius. Well, it's a genius system. William created it. I just follow it. You can run a 40 count from here, run a 40 count from all these tops and bottoms. Let's go right here now. So when you're comfortable at home and not at work, run out this 40. Where's our next 40, guys? This is beautiful. I love it. Okay? This is where I love forecasting and work, because we don't know. Is that what's going to happen? Because here comes 40. What happens after 40? Well, we get a change, and that's the weakness here, and we move down into this settling area. Is that what's going to happen? Well, probably. I mean, 40s are our metric, right? It's our sine wave for XRP. I've told you this many times. Okay, well, let's back up a little bit. Let's go to this fake out top right here, because this is a dead cat bounce, and I think that this would signal something too. So let's just see what it says. Here we go. We're coming right up on some, right? I wonder what's going to happen here. Maybe another fake out. Right? We're really close to this fake out area right in here. I mean, come on, guys. All right. Let's go back to the channel top here. Right? Right in there. See how far it gets us before a change happens. Right? Signal the top here, and the dead cat bounce couldn't get above it just a few days after. This is signaling a top. This is a very powerful point here, right? A rejection here. And look, we got a rejection here. So it seems like this segment here is running out. And then we have a further, right? We have to run out the 40 days of this before we get our change. Okay. Let's go up here now, and let's throw a 40 on here. Right? Never forget, XRP is 40. Right? So the third week of August, I'm calling for an area where we should really be very, very vigilant, watching really closely. You should have your trade ready and have your stops ready. And I'd say when the capitulation of that week comes in and we see a big V bottom, wait for it to finish and wait for a close. And wait for the next day to close higher. Don't enter on this V capitulation day. It could have a retest of this. We want to see a day where it gets higher than the capitulation day. Then we know it's safe to enter when it comes back into this channeling zone here, like this. There's your higher low. That's the safest place to buy in a low part of the channel. The next safest and best place to buy is when the asset breaks out. This is what Mr. Gann says. When it shows strength and gets in here and sits on this, he says that's the safest time to buy. And he's right. You get a walloping move up real quick, and in a short period of time, you make some good money, or you make a good gain and a profit, provided you've locked in your profits with a good stop loss following it up. Are we about to see all this? Now, I've been talking about, for the last few years, I've been talking about them gold and the fact that they have to revalue these assets, and I feel that gold is going to be assigned to XRP and all these stable coins, Bitcoin and whatnot. Anyways, guys, peace and love to you. Hit me up, brothers and sisters.